Look at all those stylish outfits. Wouldn't it be nice to see this without having to bank stand in World 420?
This is fucking insane.
Old school RuneScape is missing one thing that every other MMO seems to have: a built-in way to show off your account's uniqueness. Classes are one way other MMOs do this. Oh, you're a rogue? Well, I'm a shaman. We're inherently different. Another way is transmogs. If you don't know what that is, a transmogrification is a way to replace the appearance of one item with that of something else. The RuneScape equivalent would be kits, recolors, or pets, but unfortunately even those have problems. As for kits, those that come from clues or LMS are purchasable in the Grand Exchange, which inherently takes away their cool factor. Recolors are fine, but are only really done well with the mutagens, which are used in the Serpentine Helm, but more on that later. The last thing are pets. Pets are one of the things that feel very RuneScape, and also provide an incredible flex. The problem though is that when you die, they have to reclaim for a fee. This disincentivizes players from bringing them to do content around the game, and as a byproduct makes it so that they just rot away in your player-owned house or your bank. It's honestly a crime that we don't have more ways to show off our cool pets outside bank standing. Now what does all of this have to do with Ironman accounts? Well, the Ironman game mode circumvents the lack of flexing you can do on a main by putting an end to the GP rat race a lot of accounts find themselves in. A good example of how an Iron can gets to flex in a unique way is the Dragon Full Helm. This item is worthless to a main, but an extremely rare drop that would definitely get a few nices if you showed up to a fancy hat Ironman party. People always say that they love being an Ironman because it helps make every upgrade feel more satisfying. It's more than that. It's that it makes things that have no significance have them. But there are ways to both fix RuneScape's uniqueness problem and help out Irons, and it's fixing boss drop tables. And the beauty of tackling this issue with drop tables is that any main flex from a drop is also an even bigger Ironman flex, since the game will always be harder for them. So what makes a good versus a bad drop table? I think the best way to start this discussion is with an example. Zulrah being one of the best, and Vorkath one of the worst. A good drop table is something that has a decent but not absurd baseline loot, and a variety of items to grind for that aren't GE purchasable. Zulrah has a decent floor, since Zulrah scales will always have value, and because the uniques can be broken down into scales, their value will always hold to some degree. You then have the two mutagens. They look cool, and with their rarity and untradeable nature, are an awesome flex. It also definitely helps that the Serpentine Helm is used at Theater of Blood so you can even flex your rare drop in a group setting. You even have a pet with multiple recolors. Say what you will about the boss itself, but with all of these drops, it at least feels like you're working towards a goal when you kill it. And because it has untradables, your goal isn't just money. Money can just be a nice side bonus. On the other side of this coin, you have Vorkath. Not only are some of Vorkath's uniques not truly unique, I'm looking at you, Dragonfire Shield, but the ones they do have are either outclassed or way too rare for what they are to feel rewarding. With these factors combined, all you have is a gold printer, which makes the boss feel more like a job than a piece of content. How cool would it be if Vorkath had a chance to drop an untradable that recolored the Aves Assembler? How about a recolor for the Dragonfire Shield? Maybe even a way to change Black D'hide armor to look like it came from Vorkath itself. None of these suggestions are game-changing or even an insane flex, but they do at least give you more ways to look different and more dopamine chances than an otherwise pretty bland boss. Raids do this very well. All three raids have cosmetic rewards for their hard versions of the raid. Chambers is a little lackluster, but they definitely learned how to do it with Theater of Blood and Tombs of a Masket, each with their own approach. The Scythe and Sang kits are both ways to spice up iconic gear, but also show the accomplishments of players who can take on the more difficult versions of some of RuneScape's most challenging content. If you see someone with a Holy or Sanguine Scythe, you know they're an absolute gamer. Toa kits are great as well, and cosmetics are rewarded based on accomplishing higher raid levels, instead of RNG. Both approaches work, and having both adds an identity to each raid. I think you would see a lot more happy players if you gave them more cosmetics to show their dedication to the game. Let's make ornament kits untradable, add more untradable boss drops, and give players a way to feel different from their peers. The completionists may not like it, but we could even add these to old content to breathe some life into it, or even stoke the flames for already popular content. I just want to say thanks for watching and follow my socials. I'll link them after this.